The last few days of work has really transformed the look and feel of this space, and it's gone from what's felt like a disaster zone for the last few months into something that vaguely resembles a real livable space. So in this video, you're going to see us tackle some of the plumbing, we're going to be making some of the final cuts to the edges of the room and taking a few more steps forward towards having a kitchen again. We're Danny and Kate, and 4 years ago we bought an abandoned finca in the countryside in Spain. In 2023 we finally made the big move from the city to the country, and we've been slowly regenerating the land, planting new trees and growing our own food, all while renovating a 120-year-old house so that we can call it home. We hope you enjoy seeing this week's progress. Tomorrow we're going to be making another really big step forward here in the kitchen because we're having someone come to help us with the plumbing. This is something we decided not to do ourselves and to get a professional in who knows what they're doing. We don't want to end up with water leaks. So I'm just going to get everything prepped today and all tidied up and get rid of all of this kind of stuff that's all over the place and make sure this is ready to go for tomorrow. Getting on with this plumbing feels like a really big step forward in the project because it means that once that's all installed, we can start moving on to some of the more finishing parts of the job. We need to get this plumbing done, then we can move on to the final plaster. Still needs 2 more coats on top of here, and then we can do all the rendering and everything of all of the units. Then we can move on to things like this wall over here. We can start putting in all the electrics, we can get everything all wired up and hopefully move on to having a proper kitchen. We're already 6 months into this project and it feels like it's taking an absolute lifetime, but the end is in sight. My estimate would be that we probably have about 3 months more work, but let's see. Intersecting the new copper pipes into the old ones proved to be a bit problematic, but after a couple of goes, all the connections are leak-free. Next, it was finally time to remove the old taps and cap off the old pipes. Our new faucet will be mounted in the countertop, not on the wall, so we won't need these old connections. But we couldn't just remove these old pipes completely because they actually go upstairs into our upstairs bathroom. That's why we've added the T's further down for the new sink and the dishwasher plumbing. If you're enjoying our content and watching us renovate this house and regenerate the land up in the mountains, then if you're not subscribed to our channel already, please consider doing so. About 75% of our viewers are not actually subscribed. And we've been told by some people recently that when they went on to look at their subscription, which they thought they already were, it seemed that they'd been unsubscribed. We've actually had this same problem with some of the channels that we've followed for a few years, so maybe just go and check if you are subscribed, even if you think you are. Sometimes YouTube does strange things, we don't know why, but it's worth checking. We wouldn't want you to miss out on some of your favourite content, would we? And as always, if you are enjoying it, please give us a thumbs up or leave us a comment of encouragement down below.
So today there's been another issue with the car. It's an old car. We seem to be running through lots of issues at the moment. So it's back in the garage, but thankfully we got that EBIKE sent by HITWAY and it's making my life a lot easier. So glad to have it. So the car is fixed. Now it's just time for another 15 kilometres back into town. It was much easier on the way back with the electric bike than my road bike. I've done it before. It's not much of a hill, but it's the side of the river, so the river flows down. If you're cycling against it, it goes up. The electric bike's much easier, unsurprisingly. So yeah, off to get the car done in one day. Always nice.
With another family visit allowing us to make much more progress in the kitchen, we decided to take a rest day and visit the Delta.
Wow, mountain.
There weren't many flamingos about yet, but Isabel really loved watching all the other wildlife. I feel like we've said this before, but we had a couple of final dusty jobs that we needed to complete before we could move on to the next stages of the kitchen renovation. We didn't want to start plastering the top coat of the white lime plaster to then just get it all covered in brick dust again. So we banded together the last few dirty jobs and got them all done in a morning. This included cutting the final pieces for the kitchen cupboards and the support for the sink, as well as trimming down the edges of the walls that we removed previously.
Coming home, any place we wander to, any season we go through, I'll be fine as long as I'm with you. Heading home, running around the world with you. When you smile, I smile too. How I ever made it without you.
quite a windy one today, so I'm not messed about with the camera showing you what I've been cutting down as I'm doing it, but I'll show you now just so you can see what we've been getting on with. So the pines that are kind of in the footpaths, I'm taking them down to head height, just taking the branches off so we can get past easily to prune the olives that are down there. This is the last olive I've been getting on with, but I'm kind of doing a rough cut today and then I'll come back, and I've kind of lost energy with this one, but I'll go show you the rest. So did the same with that pine there, and then with these ones I've gone through with a chainsaw, taking out the big branches so we can look at leaving just 2 or 3 in the middle, but again these need to be come back to give them a good trim. This one I had to get in with the electrical pliers, and now there's just stuff with the chainsaw left, but I just couldn't get in with the chainsaw, the bushes around were so thick. This is a better side to see the amount that's come down. So all that's come from the other side of that tree. Trimmed under this one as well, just so we can get past easily. And also a lot of these pines are the ones with the caterpillars on, so we're kind of taking all the branches back this year and see how they fare next year, just trying to stop all these caterpillars everywhere. So you can see it's absolute chaos on here with the carob. There's obviously a very big carob tree. I can see 3 big stumps there that have been chopped. I've left 2 strong trunks there, and the rest just need to go through the chipper at some point. But yeah, that was very messy looking, and I'm glad to get it done. Unfortunately, all the carobs that have come back are male, which means they don't give us carob to harvest. But I will have a go at grafting some of the shoots that will sure come up from this, and then I need to neaten those cuts up because they're not very clean. Then we had this is just one pine tree here, but I've taken those down because it was stopping this olive tree growing well. I know we got a lot of people that complain about chopping the pine trees for Christmas trees and things, but you know, this is agricultural land for olives and carobs and whatever else we decide to grow agriculturally. And so these pines are a bit invasive. We like to leave them if we can, because obviously it's a nicer environment for everything else that lives here. But if they are stopping a tree's growth, they need to come down. And while filming that, I've just seen another one of those nests in a pine tree. That's rather big. It looks more like a small football size. So it's obviously one I missed before, and now it's a much bigger problem to deal with. So these were the furthest away trees that I came to that had a lot of caterpillars on. That one on the end was the one where they were all crawling down. But there's no more nests on here, so I've definitely caught them, which is good. The tree with the huge nest on is 2 bank owls down, and I didn't get to there. You can see the size of that nest is much bigger than anything else cutting down before. Is it practical for me to get down there to get rid of it now it's so big, or is it just a case of nature wins this year for that nest? We'll see. I'm going to go take a look. So there's a tiny one there. Well, that's the big one. That's the problem, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to reach that with even with the extenders. I don't know if anyone knows what kind of plant this is, but it looks a bit like a thistle to me, which is why we planted some artichokes, because if thistles are growing naturally here, artichokes are similar, should also grow quite well. But yeah, let me know your thinking on that, and if anyone knows what that plant is, let us know.
With the last cuts finished and all the dust settled, it was time to fill in around the pipework that we'd left exposed until the plumbing was done. And then we could plaster over the top. Once all the foam had set, we trimmed it back and plastered over the top. that was the final part of this base layer, ready for the second base layer to go over the top once it had dried. But that will be coming up in our next video. We really hope that you enjoyed this update from Smithsdale Farm. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.